Welcome to this video. So far, we have read about the geometric meaning of the zeros of polynomial. Today, we will see how the zeros and coefficients of polynomials are related to each other. In your previous class, you have learned that a zero of the linear polynomial ax plus b is negative b by a. Do you know that by splitting the middle term of a quadratic polynomial, it can be factorized? For example, the polynomial is 2x squared minus 12x plus 16. The term minus 12x is written as the sum of two such terms whose product is 32x squared. On further solving, we get the factors of this polynomial. Therefore, for x minus 2 is equal to 0, that is, x is equal to 2 or x minus 4 is equal to 0, that is, x is equal to 4. The value of polynomial will be 0. So, 2 and 4 will be the zeros of this polynomial px. Do you know that the zeros of polynomial and coefficient are related to each other? Let's see how. If we add zeros, you will see that the sum of the zeros is equal to the negative ratio of the coefficient of x to the coefficient of x squared of the quadratic polynomial. It can be said that the sum of the zeros of a quadratic polynomial is equal to the negative ratio of the coefficient of x to the coefficient of x squared, where alpha and beta are two zeros of a quadratic polynomial ax squared plus bx plus c. Similarly, if we multiply the zeros, you will see that the product of the zeros is equal to the ratio of the constant term to the coefficient of x squared of the quadratic polynomial. It can be said that the product of the zeros of a quadratic polynomial is equal to the ratio of the constant term to coefficient of x squared of the polynomial. Similarly, if alpha, beta and gamma are zeros of a cubic polynomial ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d, then the sum of the zeros is minus b by a. Sum of product of two zeros is c by a. And the product of all zeros is minus d by a. In this video today, we studied the relationship between the zeros and the coefficients of quadratic and cubic polynomials. In the next video, we will see some important examples based on these. In our previous video, we learned how the zeros and coefficients of a polynomial are related to each other. Today, in this video, we will see interesting examples based on this. What will be the sum and product of zeros of a given polynomial 2x squared plus x minus 3? Can you say how many zeros this polynomial has? Correct answer, because it is a quadratic polynomial. It can have at most two zeros. Let's assume the polynomial has two zeros, alpha and beta. In the previous video, we learned that the sum of the zeros of the quadratic polynomial is the negative ratio of the coefficient of x to the coefficient of x square. Substituting the values of the coefficients of x and x square gives the sum of the zeros as -1/2. Similarly, we know that the product of the zeros of the quadratic polynomial is the ratio of the constant term of the quadratic polynomial to the coefficient of x square. Substituting the values of the constant term and coefficients of x square gives the product of the zeros as -3/2. So, in this way, we can find the sum and product of zeros of the given polynomial. Let us see another example. Find a quadratic polynomial whose sum of zeros is -2/3 and product of zeros is 4/3. Here, the quadratic polynomial is ax square plus bx plus c. We know that the sum of zeros is -b/a and the product of the zeros is c/a. When compared, a is equal to 3, b is equal to 2 and c is equal to 4. Substituting the values of a, b and c, we get a quadratic polynomial 3x square plus 2x plus 4, where we get a quadratic polynomial in which the given conditions are fulfilled. In this video, we saw examples based on the relationship between the zero and the coefficient of polynomial. In the next video, we will see what can be common mistakes while solving these types of questions. Till now, we have studied the geometric meaning of the zeros of polynomials and the relation between the zeros and the coefficients of a polynomial. Now we will see what can be common mistakes while solving these type of questions. Given figure is the graph of y is equal to px. Look at the graph and find the number of zeros of the polynomial px. 3, 1, 5, 4. To solve this question, pause the video and then match your answer. We know that for a polynomial px, the graph of y is equal to px intersects the x-axis at as many points as the number of zeros the polynomial has. If you have chosen the first option, it is a good try. But this is the wrong answer. While counting the points of intersection on x-axis, you forgot the coincident points. Recall that we have studied 3 cases of the zeros of a quadratic polynomial. In one of the cases, the graph intersects the x-axis at only one point, that is, at a coincident point. If you have selected the second option, then too your selection is wrong. You counted the points intersecting the y-axis but not the points intersecting the x-axis in the graph. If you have chosen the third option, that too is not correct. Along with the points of intersection on the x-axis, you have also counted the point of intersection on the y-axis. Recall that the number of zeros of a polynomial is equal to the number of points intersecting the x-axis of the graph of that polynomial. If you have chosen the fourth option, it is the correct answer. Well done! This graph intersects the x-axis at a total of 4 points. So here, the number of zeros of the polynomial px will be 4. Let us now see one more question. If the zeros of a quadratic polynomial x square minus 5x plus 4 are alpha and beta, then what is the product of the zeros of this polynomial? 5 minus 5 minus 4, 4. To solve this question, pause the video and then match your answer. If you have selected the first option, then you have chosen the wrong answer. Your answer is incorrect because you used incorrect formula. You did not use the formula for the product of zeros here. You have used the formulas for their sum. If you have selected the second option, then your selection is incorrect. There are two reasons. First, while writing the coefficient of x, you forgot to prefix it with negative sign. Second, instead of using the formula for product of zeros here, you have used the formula to find their sum. If you have selected the third option, then too your selection is not correct. The reason for this is the use of a negative sign in the formula for the product of zeros. If you have selected the fourth option, then your answer is correct. You have chosen all the values correctly and calculated it using the right formula. Teachers can also test the understanding of students in the class with the help of such examples.